Good afternoon to you all. You are welcome to the 7th episode of the Life Wisdom Conference. This happens to be the last episode that we'll be having for the first season. We'll continue in a few months' time with season 2, episode 1, which is going to take a different dimension. I believe you are getting my point. And I must say that I'm so glad to see all of you here. You have been with us since the beginning of this Wisdom Conference, and I believe that it has been of a great impact in your life and your work or your academics or whatever that you are involved in. Today, I would like to move straight into what I've decided to speak about in this particular episode. I would like to say that this particular episode is, I think, one of the most important episodes. If not the most important, it's one of the most important. The reason why I believe it's the most important is that you need it to be able to even apply most of the other lessons and wisdom keys that we received in the first 6 episodes. What is this episode seeking to talk about that I deem so much important? This episode has been titled John C. Maxwell and the Wisdom of Growth. And growth is a very important thing. You need growth to be able to succeed in this life. If you don't grow, the wisdom of association is going to be useless. If you don't grow, the wisdom of strategic centering is going to be useless. If you don't grow, the wisdom of discipline, you can't even discipline yourself if you don't grow. It is growth that enables you to begin to inculcate some of these things that we have discussed in the previous episodes. Wisdom of adaptability. You don't grow, you cannot inculcate some of these things into your life that are essential for success. And so growth is one of the most important things that you'd really need. So I would like to recode certain things that I said or I made mention of in some previous episode. I think especially the first episode when we were talking about Shatawali and the wisdom of association. Now before that, I made statements like this. I said the future belongs to those who prepare for it. And I went ahead to say that success is not an accident. It is worked at. I then went on again to say that there are no naturally born failures. All failures are man-made, or if you like to say, they are self-made. And I said that they are either not in the right place and or not doing the right thing. Okay, so you need to be able to know that the future belongs to the people who prepare for it. You point or you look at something and you plan your life, you build your life in a certain way that you'll be able to achieve that thing that you are looking forward to. That is the preparation that we are talking about. I hope you are getting me. Now, that is where the growth issue that we are talking about here. And this is our model, John Maxwell, who is a top leadership expert and mentor. He engages in business, public speaking, leadership. He's just into these days. So, and you know, leadership is key in business. That is why he is also into business leadership and all that. He's a best-selling writer, written over, in fact, I don't know the real number. So many books, so many books, sold millions of copies all around the world. And personally, he has been a great blessing and had great influence and impact in my life. And he is our model today. He has been very successful. And one thing that I learned from him is that he didn't get where he is today because of lack or anything or something, but he got there because he chose to grow. He chose to become better in whatever that he was doing at that point in time, or I mean through his life. And today he is where he is. So we'll move into John C. Maxwell and the wisdom of growth. And then we'll pick up some wisdom keys from this particular lesson. Lesson 1, or our first wisdom key, is the wisdom of growth. Now, John Maxwell, like we have said earlier, has been able to really achieve success in the field that he's operating in. And he gives some general 7 steps to achieving success. And I want to use them, actually some of them, not all, but I will still show you all of them. I want to use some to explain that wisdom key of growth and how it moves you into success. The first step that he gives is that one must make the commitment to grow daily, because success comes from growing. Success does not necessarily come from achieving things, great things. No. Before you even make that achievement, it comes from you growing, making that commitment to grow daily. And John Maxwell makes a statement. He says that for you to grow, you must know yourself. You must know your strengths, your weaknesses, your interests, and your opportunities. When we're talking about yourself in terms of growth, these are the things you must be able to look at and then know how you are going to use them, improve upon them. Okay, so you know that, okay, today my strength level is this, so I'm working to move it from this place to this place. I hope you get it. My interests are this, these are the current opportunities that I have, or these are my weaknesses. Can I improve on them? Can I do this? That is it. So you make that commitment. You must first know yourself, and then you make the commitment to move yourself forward. I'll quickly move to the second one, where it speaks about, he said that you should value process more than events. Now check this. John Maxwell says that in order for you to keep growing, every time you want to learn something, you must be able to take the new thing that you've learned today and build upon what you learned yesterday. So you don't just get up and it's like a house that you are building. Growth is actually a building. You are building yourself. So it's like a house you are building. And you lay blocks, you are laying blocks, and every day you are laying blocks in a new line, a new set. You will never be able to build. We lay a course, And then the next day we build on the first course. And then the next time we build on the second course. And next time we build on the third course, and we are moving. And that is how growth is achieved. Okay, so people are, for example, say you are a Christian and you want to grow in your spiritual life. Today you don't get up today and you go and read some scripture from Matthew, then tomorrow you go and read a scripture from Zechariah, then the next day you are just random. No, have a systematic way of learning or reading your Bible, or if it has to do with your quiet time or something, you have a systematic way. Today is this, then tomorrow I'm building on yesterday's own. Okay, I hope you are getting me clearly. All right, so we move forward. That is it with the wisdom of growth. Now the next thing is the wisdom of now. And John Maxwell says a particular statement that I'm so much interested in. He says that most of the accomplishments that I have achieved in my life, I began to attempt them before I was really ready. There's a story that if you are a John Maxwell person, you would have heard him give this story before. He says that he was with his father when he was a kid, and his father gave him a riddle and asked him to answer. He said that there were 5 frogs that were sitting on a log of a tree log, and 4 of them decided to jump off into the water. And then his father turned and asked him and said, if 4 decided to jump into the water, how many are left on the log? And he answered and said to his father, but this is quite a simple riddle. It will be 1 that is left. And his father said, no, 5 are left on the log. He said that there is a difference between deciding and doing. I can tell you that so many people have decided to write books. So many people have decided to go and to start a business. So many people have decided to start a mentorship program. So many people have decided to start a church. So many people have decided to start singing, like a singing ministry, enter into the entertainment. So many people have decided to start acting, going into their acting, taking it full time. But most of these people have not actually taken the step to do it. And this is where the problem is. They are waiting. Some of them claim they are waiting for the right time. Some are waiting for the right kind of inspiration. Some they are waiting for something. They need something to move them inside for them to take that step. I remember this friend of mine who needed to help certain people to stabilize their life in a certain way. And then she will always tell me that, oh Godwin, I'm not ready personally. I also have some things I'm struggling with. So I don't want to take somebody that I myself I have problems, and then I'm adding somebody's problems, and then how can I help the person well? I want to sort myself out well. Then I can really focus on the person and raise the person well. And I can tell you up to today, the person has not really been able to raise people, because you will never be completely perfect. So if you want to wait till you are ready, you are fully ready before you start, I'm afraid to tell you that you might never start. That is the problem of a lot of people. You are waiting for an inspiration and you end up procrastinating because you are waiting. When waiting and waiting and waiting, but John Maxwell says, don't wait for inspiration. Start now. You see, there is something we call the law of diminishing intent. And what the law of diminishing intent says is that it says that the longer you wait to do something that you should do now, the greater the odds are that you are never going to do it. There's this man that I know who has been talking about writing a book. It's been 3 years now. The book is still in his mind. I will write a book. Oh, I have a lot of things to write about. Oh, I'll sit down and write it. I'll sit down and write it. I'll write a book. Oh, right now, when I retire, then he starts saying when I retire, I'll have a lot of time to write it. But now the person is retired, but still, that business you want to start, that you think you are waiting for the right moment, or you are waiting, please, I'm here to tell you that John Maxwell, in the wisdom of growth, we don't wait till we are full before we make the move. Actually, what happens is that we start immediately and then we learn along the way. So we grow as we are doing. And that leads us to the next wisdom key. That is the wisdom of failing forward. You must be willing to sacrifice your pleasure for opportunities. You must be willing to dream big. You must be willing to plan your priorities. And you must be willing to give up in order to go up. Those complete the 7 steps to success by John Maxwell. Now let me dwell on that. Failing forward. He said that you have to know who you are to grow your potential. But you also have to grow in order to know who you are. So what's the solution? You explore yourself as you explore growth. Now I was just saying that you want to start a business or you want to start mentoring people or something. But you think that you yourself, you even need a mentor. So you want to wait till you are very okay with yourself. Then you now also start mentoring people. I can assure you by the time you want to start, all the people that you should have mentored, they would have gone astray. It's very difficult to even mentor them. That is even if you start. But the right thing to do is start mentoring them. And as you are mentoring them, you are growing. You grow and you are mentoring them. So he said, explore yourself as you explore growth. And that's the wisdom of failing forward. The wisdom of failing forward means that we learn from our mistakes. That is how we fail forward. So you do something, but you are not really sure, but you make the move. If you make a mistake, you learn from it, you get up and move forward. And this time around, you are not starting from scratch, you are starting from experience. I hope we are really getting this particular thing, because we really need it. I said that the future is for those who prepare for it. So you have to look and say, okay, I want to become a doctor. So you start putting things in place. You start now. You don't need to wait till you are getting to this particular time before, or you say you want to marry. So you are waiting. When you marry, then you read books about marriage. No, start reading the books now about marriage and start preparing for the marriage. Else, I can assure you that those books, you will never read them. After you marry, Christo, you will not read them. You want to start a ministry? Start the ministry. Start it now. Well, unless, of course, God says you shouldn't start it or something, or says you should wait for him, he'll give you the right time. But apart from that, you must move. Start. If you make mistakes, you learn and you move forward. That is what we mean by failing forward. You learn from the mistake and you don't repeat it again. You move forward. So that time, you are no more starting from scratch again. You're starting with some experience. The wisdom of failing forward. Let me not dwell much on that. Let's look at some few examples. There's this great basketball player, Michael Jordan. Even if you are not a basketballer, I'm sure you at least would have come across that name, Michael Jordan. And this guy's story is one of these people who grew from zero to hero. The wisdom of growth, the wisdom of the now, the wisdom of failing forward. We see these things in the lives of these people. This guy, for example, was cut from his high school basketball team simply because he was not tall enough. But immediately things began to change. In fact, this guy grew 4 inches taller and began training harder than everybody. Because he failed the first time to pass because of height, he grew physically. But I'm also using it to explain to you that if you are looking at yourself at a particular place, then you should grow to be able to achieve it and move into it. And so this guy decided that he won't let failure and rejection discourage him or get in the way of his dream. And he made certain profound statements that in order for you to succeed, you must learn to fail. Some of these statements look contradictory, but no, they are not. And that is what we are looking at, the wisdom of failing forward. And usually the wisdom of failing forward comes from the wisdom of now, when you learn not to procrastinate. If it's about writing books, you want to write a book and the book will be so perfect that so you are wasting too much time trying. Just write the book. You want to know how to get ISBN number before you write a book. How will you write a book? You want to know how a printing press, you even want to know the cost of, just start writing the book. When you finish writing the book and then you try to get an ISBN number, you're having problems. Next time you learn the lesson. So you learn to fail in order to learn to succeed. You're failing forward. This guy said that he has missed about 9,000 shots in his career. He has lost about 300 games. 26 times they have trusted him. It's like football. You have a penalty. For you are supposed to score the game-winning shots, but he has missed them 26 times. He has failed over and over again in his life. And he says that the reason why he succeeds is because he has been through all this and he failed forward. When you fail forward, you are actually growing into success. Another very good example is myself. Yes, and I'm very proud to use myself as an example. In fact, taking this wisdom conference that you are here watching or listening to me on this Zoom platform this very afternoon, I could have said that I was not prepared for this, or let me wait, let me become a very successful person. When I'm successful, then I can now gather the things that I did to become successful and then use it to teach people. And I can even use my life as an example to people that, can't you see I'm a successful person? So you can learn the things from me. But I don't need to wait till then before I share these things or mentor people to become successful. No. As far as I know these keys and I have seen them work in the lives of people, I don't need to wait. I start now. That is why I've started. And I'm growing. If you check the first episode, the flow, and you check today's episode, the flow, you can see that I've improved. So I started now. I didn't procrastinate, and I'm growing. and I'm failing forward. Sometimes it has not been easy starting these things. It has not been easy moving in these kind of dimensions. But we have been on and on. So it's not easy putting these slides together. Sometimes you get the wisdom lesson, but the information how to put these things together is not easy. But I still took that challenge, and I'm growing. I'm becoming a better person. I'm becoming a better speaker. I'm becoming a better mentor. And I know that success is just at the corner. I'm on my way to success in life generally, and this wisdom conference itself, and you too being part of it. You're on your way to success. What are you waiting for? You need to grow, and we grow by knowing ourselves and building upon it. But we don't just sit down there and say, oh, I want to grow. No, 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 no. And so you are not engaging in anything. No. We explore ourselves as we explore growth. And so you start now and you feel forward. You don't feel backward. Failure has destroyed a lot of people's destinies. But when we operate in the wisdom of growth and we move in the wisdom of now and the wisdom of feeling forward, failure does not hold us down. It does not take us back. Failure actually pushes us forward. And so it makes us leap. And so you can use my story as an inspiration to you. Start now. You need to start a business. Start that business. Make the mistakes. Learn from them and move. And as you learn from them, then that is the growth we are talking about. You are building upon something. And I can tell you the success is on your way. Success is on your way. Come. Find the models. Move with them. All right. Oh, and that brings us to the end of this afternoon's episode. I know it is morning, evening, night in other places around the world. I know I have some people viewing me from other parts of the world, different times. I really appreciate your presence. Thank you very much for being with me. You can post your questions onto the platform, both the Telegram and then the WhatsApp platform, and I will respond to them so that we don't need to spend a lot of time on this Zoom platform. I really appreciate your presence. Don't forget this wisdom of growth, because success is not an accident. Success is worked at. And in order for one to be successful, you must learn to grow daily, every day. Value that process. Make sure you build. Don't be so much focused on events and happiness. Something that happened. Oh, I was able to do this. Blah. Your focus is just an event. No, the process. How we get there. Value that, and we move. We talk about procrastination. Don't procrastinate. Start now. There's a great difference between deciding to do something and doing it. The longer you wait to do something that you should do now, the greater the odds are that you are never going to do it. So please try. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for inspiration. Some people are waiting for the right time to come. Some people are waiting to encounter the right person. Some people are waiting for the right season. Some people are waiting. Please start now and start putting the measures in place. And I assure you that success will be a simple thing for you. On the advert here, you saw that the Wisdom Conference team was presenting to you these episodes. This is the Wisdom Conference team that we are talking about. I am the speaker or the mentor, the founder, and also the president of the Wisdom Conference. And I have Eunice Adair as the executive vice president. I have Kevin Ansah as the head of the conference management. I have Keno Togbo as the head of publicity. I have Mike Sia, the head of media, and I have Margaret Anna, the head of public relations. They are a very strong team helping me the organization and execution of this whole wisdom conference and getting these great wisdom keys to you, and I really appreciate them. If you want to contact me, please feel free. You can reach me by mail or by WhatsApp on the number on the right there, and you can also call me on that number. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Godwin Wunpiini, LinkedIn. You'll find me there. I actually advise you all to get connected with me through on LinkedIn. It's a great platform for us to meet. Thank you very much for making it for today's live wisdom conference. I'll see you somewhere in June, where we'll begin season 2. And I urge you to really anticipate a great season coming. It's going to be so wonderful. Try as much as possible to apply all the wisdom keys in season 1 from episode 1 to 7. Great wisdom keys. Sometimes I sit down personally and I'm looking at these wisdom keys and I'm like, wow. Where did I get this wisdom from? And it's the grace of God. Let's learn from these models. I always tell you, like from the beginning, that you see the scripture that I always put there. The Lord commended that unfaithful servant because he was wise. He thought about the future and prepared for it. He was wise. And so the Lord commended him. And Jesus said that we should learn from this guy. He said, because he is wise, there's wisdom in what he did. Not that we should learn the bad thing that he did. No, but we should learn the wisdom in what he did. So we pick models and we learn the wisdom in what they do or what they did. We started with Shatawale, we went to COVID-19, we went to street hawkers, we went to Cristiano Ronaldo, different things. We spoken about a lot of things after we have landed at John Maxwell. And I assure you, I can put money on whatever, and in fact, my integrity on it, that if you follow these steps, you are going to be successful in life. You are going to be successful in life. Thank you very much for your presence, and I'll meet you again in about 3 months' time. This is a quarterly conference. Have a wonderful afternoon, and God be with you. Thank you very much.